It took me 2 years from this video that you watched to find out. 2 years to move. Hey everyone, welcome to the Christyn Show. Today we are going to do a special episode. This is going to be an episode inside of an episode. About 2 years ago, like July 2020, I did my first episode and I was so excited. I finally got the nerve to do it. I was so scared. You'll see. I was so scared, didn't know which way I was supposed to go with this. And I decided to, after I taped it, to send it out to some people to see what they thought. Of course, I'm my worst critic, so I knew it needed help or work, but I still wanted to get the message out. And I still wanted to do it in my fear, in me being scared, in me being not sure of myself, during the time I was insecure about, who I was and who I am, but I still wanted to put it out, but I wanted to get some feedback. So I sent it out to a couple people and I asked them what they thought, and it was very, very, very critical. And I was like, but it was good. Like, they wanted me to be my best. So it wasn't people being bad. It was some good people in my life. And, so remember, there's not people that's just trying to be, that don't like you, that try. It's just that they want you to be your best. And I allowed them to talk. I allowed them to talk me out of putting it out because they didn't think it was good. And I just said, but I had to decide, and what I've been deciding for the past 2 years, that I can't care what people think. And part of me wish I would have just kept pushing past it. And I didn't, but it's okay. I still, 2 years later, I did a podcast, and you guys have been following me for three weeks now. I put out a podcast, and I think that maybe this one was even better than that one, but it was my time to put it out no matter what it looked like, because I wanted to encourage, and I hope it encouraged people, but I had to start. And I felt like if I didn't start somewhere, that I wasn't going to start at all. So I want you to check this out. And before you check it out, is there anything that you started, that you created, that you didn't think that was awesome, or that people told you it was subpar, that you didn't start because of that? I want you to look at this, and I want you to go back and maybe put it out. Don't wait 2 years. Don't wait any more time. It's your time. It's your turn to do it. So I hope you take this opportunity as you're watching it to watch me go through and see the things that I've said, and take that to heart and pay attention to that part and get something out of it and learn. But also the second part is growing you past what everybody else thought. If you're called to something, walk in it. If you're called to something, go towards it. Like, I started backpedaling. Like, okay, they said it's terrible, so I'm going to pull back a little bit and not do it. But I think going back to see this video all this time later helped me learn that this was something that I needed to be doing. That it's not too late, but I missed things. I missed encouraging people. I missed uplifting people. I missed helping people through seasons that they may have needed it at the time. I always say it's never too late, but I could have did it earlier. And if you get anything out of this, I hope it's that you get that it's time to push for what you're called to do and be. I'm so excited, and I want you to check this video out. And I was just about to say, let me know what you think, but I don't care what you think, because this is the season I'm coming out of, and I've come out of, because I already put out maybe 6 at this point episodes, and I just had to do it, and I had to step out of the comfort zone that I was in, and just step out there. And I'm telling you guys, step out there. Check out this video. Love you guys. See you at the end. Hey guys, welcome to the J. Christyn Show. Today I wanted to talk about identity. I chose identity for my first podcast because I wanted to let you know who I am and what I'm about. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk about a weakness that is definitely something that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, that I'm definitely working on overcoming and learning who I am during these times. So today I want to tell you who I am. I'm Jessica. I'm me first. And I remember one of my friends telling me that, remember that you were you before you were anything else, and that God made you and you have a purpose. So I wanted to work in in that purpose. So moving forward, more than that, I mean, not more than that, but to add to that, I am a wife, and I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm very creative, but these are a few things that's about me. And also, I wanted to talk about who God says I am. And in that, it says in 1 Peter 2:9, it says, I'm a chosen generation. I'm a royal priesthood. I'm a holy nation, and I'm a peculiar people. I have been called out of darkness and placed into God's marvelous light. So today, let's talk about some of the things that made me want to check my identity. I think far back as a little girl, I always felt like I wasn't good enough. And I think it came from my dad saying that, I was a little bit chubby, or I was, I had other people say you weren't light enough and different things like that. And at the time, you take in some of those things, and it becomes, okay, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? And you learn that, okay, well, that's okay. I'm going to still be who I am. And I felt like I wanted to figure out, when did I lose my identity? And I remember listening to somebody, and they said, you know what? Those times could either break you or it could uplift you. And doing as I look back, I felt like it did break me for a little while. And I said, okay, but I don't think that I realized it, because it chipped away at me slowly. And then later on, different people just told me that I wasn't good enough, or I'm not, this, or I'm not that. And, I decided that, when you're young, I was one of those strong kids that wanted to overtake that. And you can't tell me who I am. I'm going to fight for whatever you say I'm not. And then, it's slowly over the years chipping at me. And then one day I was like, okay, maybe I'm not who I think that I am. So maybe I need to fall back to it and let it break me. It just broke my identity down. So I just was like, okay, I guess I'm not good enough. I guess all these things are true, and I'm just going to fall down to what people are saying that I am. And as the time went on, I just started allowing things to continue to happen in my life that I knew that wasn't right. I was raised in the church, and I knew that sex before marriage was wrong. And I think I lost it when I decided, I remember the day I decided, well, you know what? I'm just gonna have sex anyway. And, and I know that wasn't me. I knew what I preached about. I know what I told my friends about. And I knew that, that's not what I wanted for myself. And in 12th grade, before I turned 18, or around when I turned 18, I decided to have sex, and I got pregnant. And I think at that point it was like, God, I know this wasn't something that you called me to do, but at that time I was like, okay, we both went our separate ways. I went to college, he stayed home. And the guy that I got pregnant by, and we went our separate ways and did those things. And, different things happened in the middle of all those things. But in raising my child, I had decided that I had to be somebody else. I had to be the best person I had to be for the child. So it was, to me, I felt like I had to be mom and dad. So that wasn't who I'm sure God didn't call me to be, his dad. So it was just like, I forgot. And then when I got married, it was just like, okay, wow. Okay. So I don't have to be mom and dad anymore. And I just went to, because I had my son so young, it was like, I went back to, okay, well, I don't have to be both parents. I just chilled. Like, I was like, okay. And then I started becoming whoever my husband was and wanted to mold around that. But he was more like, who are you? I want to invest into who you are. But I was still not there. I still, even now, still trying to figure out those things and wrap my head. And I think, to be honest, I just told somebody maybe a year or two ago, I woke up to who I was and the creativity that God had put in me, and just to be outspoken and say different things. I remember my mom and my family saying, you just changed, you changed. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't know who I was, and I was trying to find who I was. So in that, I was like, all right, I have to find who I am and who God made me to be and go off after those things. And still to this day, it's like, okay, am I pretty enough to do these things? Am I pretty enough to have, do I know enough to have a conversation and stand amongst amazing people? I have a lot of great, women in my life that are so amazing that I'm like, can I stand amongst you guys? And it's just like, they continue to tell me over and over again how great I am and the talents and the gifts that I have. And I'm like, okay, so now, Jess, it's time for you to see that in you. And so I decided that this is the time to either live up to or live down to who God called you to be. And I'm like, okay, I want to live up to that. And so in that, in doing these podcasts, you're going to watch me grow and become who I'm supposed to be and live up to what God has for me. And I want to do this and look right in this thing and say, I'm going to win because I'm a winner, because that's who God made me to be. So I guess I want to put out to you, is this something that you guys are working on, or that you struggle with, and that you don't, what is your thing that you struggle with? Identity is mine. And what about your identity that you struggle with? Is it the way you look? Is it your personality? Is it the way you talk? Is it the way you walk, the way you dress? What could it be, or whatever? So I just wanted to put that question out there, because sometimes I think as women, we think that we're alone and that we struggle with these things alone. And I always tell people, if you share the stuff that you're going through, you'll realize that you're not the only one going through it, and you're not going through it alone, and that you can be walking with other women. Because I was like, oh, this happened to me, and this could only happen to me, and God, why would you do this to me? There's so many people out there that's struggling with things that you already struggle with, or that you're going through right now, or that is something that you're in the midst of. And it's just like, dang, I could be helping somebody else with this. And I had to learn that as I go through the process of life. And I'm still dealing with, like I said, with this identity thing about, who am I? Who did God make me to be? And, I have great people around me that tell me exactly who I am, and, and remind me of who God told me that I was. And, just reading my word is always reminding me of and affirming me of who I am. I just need to stand up in it. And yes, it's a struggle for me, a daily struggle to go through those things. But I think that if we walk this thing together, and if we find ways to encourage each other on a daily basis, that it'll be like, oh, okay, you're good. Like, it's nothing wrong. And you look at other people trying to become, you try to become other people, and God's like, that's not you. I'm always, and a lot of people say, you look at Instagram, it's like, oh, I want to look like that, or I want to do that. And, that's not who, if God wanted you to be that person, he would have made you that person. And it's just like, one other thing I did want to talk about was, as far as identity, is just like, I was trying to figure out how do I get to the point where I struggle with the part of like my weight, and I'm like, Lord, why can't I lose this weight? I lose it and don't keep it off, and what can I do to be better in that? And it's like, dang, this stuff taking you back. It's like a healing process. It's taking me back to my childhood when I was a little girl and trying to figure out, like, dang, why can't I lose this weight? Why can't I do this thing? It's because I just decided, my mind keeps saying, you're big, you're this, you're that, you're this. And it's just like, no, you can be healthy. You can go run, you can go do those things, and the devil's gonna keep you from, and you could, not only the devil, yourself can keep you from getting up in the morning and doing what you're supposed to do. I remember reading this saying where it says, the devil don't know nothing until you tell him. You just talk too much. You tell him too much of your business. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna stop telling him so much of my business and tell him to stop telling him what's going on with me, and I'm just gonna keep trying to live for God and try to get myself together and work on those things. So I decided today that I'm going to read a little bit of this confession before we leave. And, but before I do that, I said, I lost my identity in high school when I tried to fit in. And when I lost my identity in high school when I tried to fit in. But God said that I was meant to stand out. So hopefully this will help somebody that's younger than me to know that, sometimes where we feel like we're lost and that we're not in the place where we're supposed to be and we're trying to fit in the place, you know what? Maybe God is putting you in that place to stand out, to stand amongst people, to save other people. And don't get lost in what your purpose is for that time. And what God has for you and his plans for you. So I just wanted to read something real quick. It says, I am somebody. Romans 8 declares unto me that I'm a child of God. I'm an heir of God. I'm a joint heir with the Lord Jesus Christ. I am more than a conqueror through Christ who loves me. If God be for me, who can be against me? So I'm going to work with God to be better in my identity. So I challenge you to work and to be better at who you are. And it doesn't happen overnight. Trust me, I'm still working at it. It doesn't mean that I fail. I'm just a work in progress. And I'm just going to keep pushing. And I'm going to continue to encourage and push you to be better. Thank you guys for coming to my first podcast. I hope you come back and visit me and talk about some other topics that encourage us and me and each other as we grow to be who we need to be and encourage other people around us. Thank you guys. See you later. Talk to you soon. Come back and join me at the J. Christyn Show. Love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, so I know you just seen that episode, and I'm like, I want to ask you so bad. Like, what do you think? But I really don't care. Like, that was my feeling then. Like, I cared too much about what people thought. And that's not the space I want to be in. I hope that you saw and got blessed from it. It took me 2 years from this video that you watched to find out. 2 years to move. And maybe that's something that happened to you. Maybe it's something that you created that you can't move on. Maybe it's something that you're doing that you can't push past. Maybe it's something that you want to produce or put out or create or do, but you decided to listen to somebody and they said, it's all right. But you were called to do that. And you don't want to be delayed 2 years like I was. Delayed from so many things, from helping so many people, from being able to have episodes already out there that could have blessed others. I am 2 years behind, but on time. If that makes sense. Like, I'm 2 years behind, but God is the God of time. So it's going to be made up for, but I don't want you to wait that long. It's not worth it. To me, maybe this episode was better than my first episode. That's what I felt. Like, maybe that episode was better than the first one. But because I just couldn't, I had to know and how others felt and what they thought, that I couldn't push past that moment. That I felt like I lost time where I could have helped people, where I could have encouraged people. And I hope that this helped you push to put out your next thing. To not wait 2 years. I can't wait, and I'm telling you to get started now. Don't wait. Get started today. What I remember the saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So this is your shot. Take it. I can't wait to see what you've done, or what you're going to do, or what you created, or what you've become. Put in the comments below, share with me so I can check you out and see what you're doing. I can't wait. I waited too long, but it's not too late. So I can't wait to see what you did. Love you guys. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you got anything from it, please share it with someone you think it will bless. And make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to the Christyn Show right here on YouTube. You can download the audio-only version by subscribing to the show on most major podcast platforms. Also, make sure you check out our links in the comments below for more ways to engage with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Christyn Show.